What's going on, guys? Welcome back to some MMA commentary for you tonight. Do me a favor, take a moment, hit the like button, subscribe button, criticism in the comment section, Twitter, Shutdown Safety is my username. Here to talk UFC 200, generally joined by my good buddy Anthony Lionheart Smith. He is currently flying over to Las Vegas in preparation for his fight this Friday, the Ultimate Fighter 23 finale. I will talk to him about that later in the week, but be sure to support him by watching his fight and also follow him on Twitter at Lionheart Smith. Very briefly, we had a company come out and support both him and I this week, Rainforest Sunglasses. You can follow them on Twitter, Rainforest SG. You can go to their website, rainforestsunglasses.com. That's all together, rainforestsunglasses.com. You want to give somebody a gift that they're going to truly appreciate and use just about every single day, because hey, who doesn't deal with the sun on a near daily basis, right? Give them a pair of sunglasses. This guy handcrafts glasses to your order. They're absolutely stunning. And again, you give these as a gift. It's going to be something someone is reminded of every single time they use them. Also, a portion of your purchase goes back to conserve the rainforest and the wildlife at which they came from. Really good guy. Thank him for his support and hope that you guys go find something you like on his website to purchase. Now, to get into the card itself, going to start with the first fight, and to me, this really is a stacked card. It's a great card. It's a milestone for the UFC, but a lot of emotional and mental fights that take place on this one, more so than really any card I can remember in a while. First fight, Cain Velasquez and Travis Browne. I think with Cain, we're seeing a guy that's starting to have the injury problems mount. He's spent a ton of time atop the division, but it's obviously the injuries have gotten to his head. I mean, if you go back and you look at the loss to Verdum, he looked lost. He looked out of place, and I don't personally believe in ring rest myself. I know some people do, but I just don't know what's happened to him. And the fact that we're only going to see him fight for the third time in 2 years tells you really all you need to know. On the other side, you've got Travis Browne, who's proven to be a little bit reckless, but he's also been successful against some high-level guys. And to me, this is the fight that he needs to cement himself as a true contender in the division. And I think also will be a fight that we go back and learn to say, hey, look, Cain's injuries have really sidetracked his career and ultimately going to push him a little bit further down the ranks, and he's going to have to get healthy completely and start to work back up the ladder. To go from there, the Conor McGregor Invitational, if you will, Jose Aldo and Frankie Edgar. And while I don't think a lot has changed with these two since Aldo first won in 2013, again, it's going to come back to mentally and emotionally. Where is Jose Aldo? Because the last time we saw him, it was only for 13 seconds, and since then, he's become the poster boy for being knocked out internationally. You take a look on the other side, you've got Frankie Edgar. He's coming off 5 straight wins. He stopped BJ Penn, Chad Mendez. He dominated Uriah Faber. He's got to be mentally in a better place than Jose Aldo is. And even if this one goes to a decision like the first one did, I would think Edgar has it in it to pull it off. Now, Miesha Tate is going to get her first title defense in this card as well. She's going to go up against Amanda Nunes. And I think Miesha Tate is a much more complete fighter. You know, I don't want to say she spent so much time chasing Ronda. Maybe Miesha should go buy Ronda a pair of Rainforest sunglasses. A nice gift, because to me, Ronda Rousey is so much an integral part of Miesha Tate's success because she forced her to become a better fighter. And I'm not saying that Nunes isn't talented, because she certainly is, but I think you become a better fighter, you become better, a more rounded fighter by having somebody to chase, okay? And Tate really had to chase Ronda for a really long time. Now, Nunes comes out strong, don't get me wrong. She comes out really strong, but then she does start to fade. And if you go back and you watch Tate beating Holly Holm, she turned it on in that fight. She was behind in that fight. She came back to win. And I think that's where she's going to have the advantage in this fight. I think she's going to dispatch Nunes relatively quickly, and assuming Kat Zingano beats Julia Pena early in the night of the prelims, I think that would set up a rematch from the Ultimate Fighter 17 finale, Tate versus Zingano. Now, when this match was first announced, I came out, I did a video on it, and a lot of people gave me grief that I picked Brock Lesnar over Mark Hunt. And you know what? Since then, I've seen a lot of people pick Brock Lesnar, and I still feel compelled to, and I'm assuming that this one is going to become a slugfest and not a hugfest, but honestly, I feel like MMA takes a much larger toll on the body than pro wrestling does. And you know what? Again, props to the WWE for letting Lesnar come in on this one-off thing. Obviously, an important card. He was a part of UFC 100. But you know what? Lesnar has nothing to lose. He's going to go right back to the UFC to the WWE rather, no matter what happens. And I just see him getting the better of Mark Hunt. Even though Mark Hunt is more skilled, obviously this one is probably going to come down to a knockout contest. I just think Lesnar is going to be in better shape because he doesn't have the wear and tear that MMA puts on your body. In the final fight, we get to see Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier. This is something that was obviously set up for UFC 197, but DC had the injury, and to me, this is going to be something that DC looks back on and regrets, because that was his opportunity to beat Jon Jones, and he let it slip away. And I think Jon Jones knows. Right after that fight, he knew that he came out questionably and is going to need a far better performance on Saturday than what he had against OSP. And the only area, to me, that DC has the advantage here is public perception, and that's not going to win you a fight. There's a lot of people that don't want to see Jon Jones win because they don't like the person that Jon Jones is. But you know what? DC lacked the tools to beat Jon Jones at UFC 197, and he hasn't found them anytime soon. He's going to come out again with a loss and probably look back and know that his opportunity to beat Jon Jones was at UFC 197. We saw really just a shell of the fighter that Jon Jones was, but he as a competitor won't let himself come out like that again, and he will get the win over DC. I will be back immediately after UFC 200 to give my review. You guys can judge me on my thoughts and opinions then when it's over. And again, make sure you support Rainforest Sunglasses. I'll be back in the week to speak to Anthony Smith about his upcoming fight